Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Fight Pit Podcast. And this is episode 7.
Welcome,
Episode
welcome,
7.
welcome.
This is week 7 of us doing this. It's been very fun. And we're getting started right off with the stats. And when I say stats, I mean this crazy battle that J-Dog and I are having. It's just insane. There's sparks everywhere. It's huge collisions of powerful forces. And it is our competition for the UFC 4 trophy, the WWE 2K23 trophy, and the WWE 2K22 trophy. So, J-Dog, do you want to get started with your stats?
Yeah, so for my stats, for mine, we're gonna start with UFC 4. I made a bunch of improvement. I've been trying to grind as much as I can on some of these. I went from 30% to 75%. Um, so with 2K22, I don't think it's changed. It's still at 85%, and 2K23 is at 92, I think. Yeah, 92%.
You suck.
Maybe you should try harder.
What do you mean I should try harder? I'm still gonna win, but you suck.
Oh, you suck.
My stats are still UFC 490. 23 is a 67, and 22 is a 72. That's all the percents of my trophies that I have. J-Dog may be in the lead right now, but I am going to win. Crazy Maniac Productions for the wins. What, you don't believe me?
We'll see.
What do you mean we'll see? I'm gonna win. It's just a
We'll
cold,
see.
hard fact. So, starting off today, we have UFC 289, which was Saturday. It was a pretty good card. And we're going to go over it. I don't want to just start rambling on about them. We're starting off, the first fight was a middleweight fight. Marc-Andre Barriault versus Eric Anders. And, it's not really a memorable fight, honestly. Like, not a lot happened. Marc-Andre, he was the more dominant one, but it was pretty back and forth each way. But Marc-Andre did win by unanimous decision. And I don't even think J-Dog watched it.
No. Because I was trying to figure out a way, like my parents were watching something at the time, so I was trying to find another way to watch it, and I couldn't get it
Yeah.
on in time, and so I missed it. But I watched
Yeah.
everything else.
Yeah. So, we're just going to skip right past that one. Congratulations, Marc-Andre Barriault. I don't even know if I'm saying that right, but anyway.
You
This was
said
actually...
Marc-Andre.
What?
You said Marc-Andre. It's Eric Andre.
No, it's not.
It is Eric. It's Eric.
uh,
Oh,
well,
you
when I
said
wrote it down...
Marc-Andre. It's Anders and Andre. I got the Anders and Andre mixed up. Never mind.
Hey, so I was right. Let's go.
Yeah.
Fuck you, Jason. Anyway, the actual second fight, which I actually really liked, I know J-Dog said he did as well. It was a featherweight matchup, Nate Landwehr taking on Dan Ige. And one thing I really remember about this fight, which was just so evident, Ige was getting in that pocket. He wanted in the
Oh
pocket to
yeah.
just
Oh yeah.
crazy
He was just
punches, elbows.
hammering.
He was the shorter dude as well, so... But he was very quick. That was what got Landwehr here. Yeah, but Landwehr in the beginning, when Ige was trying to get in that pocket, he was just throwing front kick after front kick. It seemed like it wasn't going to be. That's not a good strategy because
Yeah.
he did it so often. It was like you just knew it was coming. I
Yeah,
mean,
he's able to defend it very well.
I've heard of Nate Landwehr a little
eventually.
bit, and I've heard that he's a good grappler. He didn't get a lot of grappling sequences in here.
Yeah.
But he really, it kind of seemed like he was a little uncomfortable on the feet. Like that's really what got him in this unanimous decision loss because he was not confident on the feet and he wasn't really taking it to the ground a lot.
Yeah.
And yeah,
It
Ige
was
knocked him
very
down.
it was
He knocked,
very like it was more of a stand-up game than it was on the ground like
yeah,
initially. But it was very intense. Like Ige and I forgot to pronounce the other guy's name.
Landwehr.
Let me Landwehr, yeah. They had a lot of like good stand-up fighting in like the first round, but the second and third round they started taking it to the ground a little more.
Yeah,
So yeah, it was
yeah.
definitely
Ige knocked him
intense.
down in the final 10 seconds of the first round.
Yeah,
I was saying if Ige had like one more minute in the first round, he would have finished him. If he had one more minute in the second round, he would have finished him.
yeah,
Ige
probably.
got his shit in. I mean, Landwehr was saved by the bell, basically. But I did notice Landwehr going for a lot of knees and elbows. He was really getting in that Muay Thai. He was trying to. He wasn't hitting a lot of them, but he was getting a couple, and they were pretty good.
Yeah, for sure. Like I know a couple of the shots that I seen. Like I know he got one really good shot in during the first round, and it caused a cut on Ige's face. Like while Ige was having his rally going, like he was striking back and forth with
Yeah.
Landwehr, and then Landwehr, I don't know if it was a kick or a knee or something. Um, but with that, E Ige, like you said, almost got the knockout. I thought he was going to. I
Yeah, I
was
did
really
too.
getting excited because I was like, oh, it's gonna be a good knockout. And then last second, the bell rings. It's just like, oh,
Well, I'm gonna be honest. Ige,
bruh.
he goes into that deep end. I think that's where he thrives. But at the end of the fight, Landwehr he was getting some, he was getting some offense. Not as much as Ige was, but he was very much improving his fight game
Yeah,
anyway. Landwehr, he got some good clinch work in the third round. Like I said, with the knees and elbows, he was getting it.
yeah, yeah. It was definitely like it started out mainly as a stand-up fight, and then rounds two and three, it was very technical, which
Yeah.
I loved because you don't see that very often anymore between like not newer fighters, but like for me not hearing of either one of these guys, which I heard a little bit. I've heard a little bit about both, but not very much.
Right.
Um, for there to be a very technical fight when it begins with I'm blinking. Um, with Ige, like I think I've heard of him a couple times, but like with it being I was trying to backtrack. With it being the first of the first two fights in the main card, for you to have a technical match like that right off the bat, it's nice to see because it's very involved. It's very back and forth. And it was pretty much like that for the whole time throughout the card.
Yeah.
And like I know a majority of the UFC pay-per-views that I've watched, excuse me, it's usually a lot of knockouts right away or submissions right away. But with that, usually it's not as entertaining in a sense. It does some of them are entertaining, but like for the
Well,
whole
you
card to
want to
be
talk
like
about
that,
entertaining?
talk about that
Entertaining.
Charles.
Well, no, not that one. Mike Malott versus Adam Fugit. I mean, both
Oh
of them
yeah,
were
yeah,
entertaining, but
yeah,
this
yeah.
one was pretty entertaining. I mean, Malott's just on his he's on his uprise. I mean, he hit him with so many good body kicks. Fugit was not he was not in his realm. He was just getting hit with crazy body kicks at the very beginning of the
Yeah.
first round.
He was absolutely
And then he
destroying
got him with a great takedown.
Fugit.
Great takedown in the first
Yeah.
round as well. And then yeah, Malott he hit Fugit with a he just hit him with a punch and he knocked him down. And he got him with a nice guillotine finish. I mean, it was a great punch. Just takes him down right away and then gets him with that guillotine finish. It was just great to see. He wasn't even going for a knockdown. He was or knockout. He was going for a submission win.
That's what I heard. When he was doing his little interview afterwards, he wasn't even really going for the guillotine. He just saw the opportunity and he went
Yeah,
for it.
right.
And he didn't expect to even lock it in.
Yeah, it's crazy. But it was a insane finish. And I even remembered
Yeah.
with the guillotine, he went for the guillotine and Fugit was trying to get out of it. He had his legs wrapped. He had one of Fugit's
Mm-hmm.
legs wrapped, so he couldn't
Move
get his
really.
legs away. Yeah, and he could have been able to maybe gator roll out of it or something like that. I mean, it was in pretty deep anyway, but that leg being caught by Malott was fantastic. He couldn't go
Yeah.
anywhere. And then how he was able to rotate on to where he wasn't on his back anymore. He was on top with that chokehold. It makes it even worse. Just insane.
Yeah. Yeah. Once I saw that he had the guillotine in it, I'm like, oh yeah, for sure.
It's
He's done.
it's really nice to see these fighters that I've never really heard of have just insane fights. But I'll tell you what, there's one fighter, well, two fighters in this next fight. It wasn't a surprise that this was going to be a fun fight with Beneil Dariush and Charles Oliveira.
Yeah. Both very, very, very talented uh, fighters, for sure.
Dude, everybody before the fight was saying that Dariush would win. I was always on
And then
Charles Oliveira's
Darius
side.
was,
Charles Oliveira
yeah,
fucked him up first round.
yeah,
Amazing.
like it was
So,
crazy.
yeah, it was a. They were on the ground for the first part of the fight. You know, both Charles Oliveira and Dariush are great at jiu-jitsu, wrestling, in general, ground game. Charles Oliveira is the best, probably. Like, at least now. Maybe not of all time, but definitely
Yeah,
right now.
he's definitely the top guy.
He went for a heel hook. Like, he almost caught a good heel hook. He almost had it in. And it wasn't even... Charles Oliveira made it look so slick, like he wasn't even trying to go for it. He kind of just fell into it, and he was ready. And, yeah, but Dariush was on the top position, and, you know, usually that'd be a good thing for a fighter to be on the top position, but when it's with Charles Oliveira on his back, Oliveira is dangerous. And honestly, Oliveira, his jiu-jitsu game is so strong, his ground game in general, even his up kicks. He probably has some of the best up kicks I've ever seen.
We were
Because
talking about
Dariush,
Oliveira.
when Oliveira was on his back,
Yeah,
he went for some up kicks when Dariush was trying to do ground and pound, and Dariush like couldn't flip him, or at least didn't try hard enough or something. I don't know, but Oliveira just he was there right and almost kicking him in the face.
yeah,
Luckily for Dariush, he didn't, but unluckily for Dariush, he caught Oliveira caught him with some good strikes and caught him with crazy ground and pound in the last 2 minutes of the round, and Oliveira wins by TKO.
yeah.
And just one thing that I have to say to all of our viewers, Charles Oliveira, this is just one thing you have to remember about him. Who is the champion? Du Bronx.
Du Bronx.
Du
I didn't
Bronx.
even. I don't even think I caught that part. I think I was doing something at the time. That's funny. I remember when you told me about that.
Dude,
That was
I
hilarious.
love him. He's my favorite fighter right now. Like, not even his skill level, which his skill level is insane. I have some other fighters who I think are better than him, but, you know, his character. He, in real life, he is so nice, and he's so humble. When he took the loss to Islam Makhachev, he got right up and was hugging him. And, like, had a
Yeah.
full-on conversation with him and Khabib on the side. Like, it's amazing. I love to see him getting another win, and he, honestly, I think he might be the Max Holloway of the lightweight division right now. Because
Honestly, I can agree with
you
that
have Alexander
pretty
Volkanovski,
much.
who is the champion, and Max Holloway, who they've fought 3 times. Volkanovski won every time, so obviously Volkanovski's better. It's not, it's definitive. But Max
Yeah.
Holloway is just so much better than everybody else. So I'm thinking Charles Oliveira might be like that now. So that would kind of suck because you had that with Kamaru and Colby as well. So it's kind of been a
Yeah.
outplayed thing. And it's not outplayed like a wrestling term. It's just it happens so often where you have like 2 guys who are the best and nobody else can beat them.
Yeah, for sure.
So you're never going to have another number 1 contender. Maybe that's going to be like that, but I really want to see a Charles Oliveira and Islam rematch before we can even decide that that's even an option. Because maybe
Yeah.
Charles Oliveira can beat him, and I honestly believe that Charles could beat him if they fought again.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, it was a pretty
I
dominant
believe
win
the
by
same
Islam, but
thing.
still, I think he can
I
do
want to
it.
see that again.
Hmm.
Like, even if he can't, which I'm not saying he won't, but even if he can't, that'd still be a good fight to watch back.
Yeah. So that's not even the main event though. This was probably the most exciting match for me at least. But the main event was Amanda Nunes, who is the most dominant woman in the UFC, double champion. Uh, she's the best, and she took on the number 5 contender because she's beating everybody else. Uh,
Yeah.
this was a decent fight, but I don't think it should have gone to
I
decision. I honestly think Nunes could have
no.
knocked her out earlier. I think she was holding back or
But
something.
another thing I didn't like about the fight is Aldana right off the bat was very defensive, and that irked me a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, she didn't try to do anything. She immediately put her arms up to block her face. I'm like, I was expecting a good like first round, and the first round was literally just her defending herself.
Aldana was
I
very
was like,
hesitant. She was very hesitant. And, I mean, obviously you have to be hesitant against the number
right, right,
one
right, right. But she
woman
was
in
way,
UFC right now.
but
She
she
could have
was
been more
way too
aggressive.
hesitant in my mind.
Nunes,
Yeah,
like, in the first few rounds, she went for a couple of takedowns. They weren't really, like, takedowns. They didn't even count because she kept
no,
going for the takedown and she wouldn't follow through. I think she was
she would
kind of
just let it
just
go.
like that's the thing. I honestly feel
It
like
seemed
Nunes could have
it
done
honestly
something.
seems like
She could have finished her. I really
yeah,
think she was holding
it
back.
honestly seems like she was doing it on purpose, and she was just kind of letting go, was toying with her a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, Aldana's right side was pretty messed up, and in the later rounds, she was doing some things. There wasn't, like, in the first couple of rounds, it may have been the first round, I think. Aldana did get her with a crazy counter right hook, but other than that, there wasn't a lot by Aldana. I mean, she did decent, but honestly, Amanda could have probably finished her. Especially that fifth
Yeah.
round, it was nothing but Amanda just having her on the ground. She could have put in an armbar or at least tried something. She wasn't. It didn't even look like
It's
she was
almost like
trying.
she didn't want her final. Oh, it seems like she didn't want this fight to end in knockout. She just wanted to toy with her at this point.
Which, I mean, maybe that is the best thing to do, because if you knock somebody out, that will cause them, like, some kind of brain damage.
Yeah, it could.
But,
So she
yeah,
might have just been protecting her.
I don't know. But after the fight, Nunes announced her retirement, which it kind of seems like a weird place to do it right now, because you're going against the number 5 contender, and there's a lot of people saying that she's afraid of, like, who else was it?
Pena.
Yeah, Pena.
Pena.
Yeah, I don't know.
Juliana Pena.
Honestly, I'm not sure. I
And
haven't watched that. I don't really
um
watch the women's
and
fights a
she
lot, so I'm not sure.
Amanda Nunez said like if she would have faced Pena, it would have been her final fight. She
Right.
wanted to go out on somebody she hadn't faced before.
Yeah. Well, some people think that's just an excuse or something, so I don't
I
know.
wouldn't be surprised, to be honest. Nothing against Amanda, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's just an excuse.
So, for the MMA fans, I guess this is kind of the end. I love you. I'll miss you. Mwah. Anyway, Monday Night Raw. This, I mean, I'm very excited to watch WWE now, and it's not a coincidence. It's because Triple H is booking now, and I love that Triple H is booking now. It makes the show
Triple H
feel
is cooking.
It makes it feel complete. You have more wrestlers who are on the show than before. Except I want to fucking see Elias. I don't know if he's on the undercard because I only watch the Hulu shit. It's the main shit. He
He's a
might be on the
free agent.
undercard.
That's probably
Yeah,
why.
he's a free agent. I miss Elias. Bring him back. Anyway, we're starting off with Raw. We had Seth Rollins. He was cutting a promo, oh my god, I'm the champion. Or something like that. And Finn Balor and Damian Priest came out. Uh, I loved this promo because obviously Seth Rollins is going to fight Damian Priest later in the card. It's the main event. Seth Rollins, he's taking his little digs at not Damian Priest, at Finn Balor, which is what I love because it's has continuity from SummerSlam 2016 when it was the Universal Championship inaugural championship match. It was
Mhm.
Rollins versus Balor, and yeah, Rollins like tapped him on the shoulder where he injured him, which obviously led to Finn Balor's 1-day reign as Universal Champion
Yeah,
and a
for
pretty much
sure.
a year out of action. It was pretty cool, but I also noticed there was a little tension between Priest and Balor.
Balor.
I
Yeah.
really look. I've been saying it since Royal Rumble. I really want to see Balor versus Priest at some point. I wanted it at SummerSlam. I don't know if that would be like too soon, but maybe Survivor Series or something. I don't know. I don't really want to see the Judgment Day split up, but if they do split up, I really want to see Balor versus Priest, a good rivalry because they had some good rivalries down at NXT.
Yeah, they definitely did.
Rollins also challenged Damian Priest to No Judgment Day, being at ringside, and Priest agreed, and Finn Balor looked at him like, "Oh,
Balor
wow, really?
snapped.
Okay."
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. There was some
He
tension
was like,
between it.
no, 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 we need to have Judgment Day. And he said he snapped on Finn. He was like, no, Finn, trust me, I got this. And he turns to Rollins. He's like, I accept. And Finn's just like, what? Like you said, he's just so surprised by it.
Yeah, yeah, it was a good promo. I love Damian Priest being in the main event, and I love Balor being in the main event, and I love the tension between them.
Yeah.
Because in 2021 they weren't big stars really. I mean, Balor was in NXT, but when you're a big star in NXT, it doesn't really count.
Right.
So yeah, that was great. The next thing we had was Seth Rollins' wife, Becky Lynch, taking on Sonya Deville, and this was a Money in the Bank match.
Qualifying match, yeah.
Yes, the qualifying match. Trish and Zoe came out. Decent match. I actually really liked this match. It kind of made me more of a fan of Sonya, and I've been becoming more
Yeah.
of a fan of Sonya and
Chelsea.
fucking Chelsea Green. I love it. Yeah, it was a pretty good match, and Becky won, sending a message to uh, Trish
Trish.
and Zoe. Pretty cool.
Yeah.
And we had a massive recap of the Bloodline story from SmackDown, and I just love that they're doing all these recaps and everything. But it is kind of weird how they're doing it on Raw when the Bloodline are on SmackDown.
I think they just do it to get popularity and
Yeah,
get
I don't,
views.
I don't know, but still, it's weird. Maybe in the
Eh,
commercial, but like, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Anyway, it's cool that they're doing it. Uh, but then Sammy and Kevin were interviewed by Byron Saxton. Imperium interrupted, and Gunther said he needs to teach Kevin Owens discipline. And Kevin Owens, he's the prize fighter again. He's not the like Kevin Owens laid back dude, whatever. He
Mm-mm.
is the prize
He'll
fighter. He is
he's
angry. Needs to go to anger
he'll
management.
snap on anybody.
I would love to
He's
see.
snapping on anybody and everybody.
I would love to see a little story of Kevin and Sammy being at like the therapy room where Kane and Daniel Bryan
Daniel
were.
Bryan and Kane.
That would be cool,
Yes.
and I would love to see it off of Kevin Owens. Like Sammy's even been saying, like Kevin, your blood pressure, man. It's that cracks me up when he says, Kevin, your blood
I
pressure.
don't care. I don't care. Okay.
Kevin is so funny, and he stormed off to the ring, and he challenged Gunther right there. He just challenged the Intercontinental Champion, and this isn't what I don't think this was a championship match. I mean that would be
No, it
awesome if
wasn't.
it was, but still, yeah, it wasn't. But Kevin versus Gunther, the sound of that just makes me like smile in my heart. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it's just two of the greatest wrestlers of like the indie scene going
Yeah.
at it. Not even the indie scene, in the WWE scene at this point, because Owens is so. Yes, I love it. Anyway, it was a great matchup. Their styles of the Ring General and the Prize Fighter match really well together. Like, just this dominant guy that, he takes no shit. He will, like, he literally smacks around Ludwig Kaiser if he says anything that opposes him. He puts them in line. He puts everybody in line, and then you have this dude that's just a prize fighter. He is willing to fight anybody at any time. It meshes so well together. That's what I meant to say. Anyway, it was very very back and forth. Like they were hitting each other like hard and frequently. That's what I love. That
Yeah.
that sounds a little suspicious, but
It's
yeah.
not. We
Anyway,
promise it's not.
there was there was one move in particular I took a look at and I was like, wow. The brutal Boston Crab by Gunther. He starts it off boot on the fucking neck. Boot on the neck, bending back that spine, and then all of Gunther's like probably 240-pound frame sits on your back and your spine, twisting it back. That just looks. I know wrestling's fake, it's not supposed to hurt. I bet that fucking hurts.
Yeah.
It was awesome. And there was one spot where Gunther hit a lariat. Like this is after hitting each other so much. Gunther like levels up again because he's just the ring general. Brutal lariat. And then he just stared down Sami Zayn. This man is a beast.
Monster.
A monster. And yeah, and then it was a stupid finish. Kaiser distracted, and then Owens like tried to hit him. I think he hit a stunner on him, and then Gunther rolled Kevin
Yeah.
Owens up 1, 2, 3. It was weird.
Yeah, that's pretty much how it went.
Yeah, I don't know. I love the match. Everything about it. The finish was a little bit weird. I wish it would have been more decisive, but then again, they're two of your biggest stars. You don't really want to bury them on a Raw. I mean, not necessarily
Right.
bury
You
them,
want
but
to make
anyway.
them both look good.
Yeah, and this was something that I thought was really awesome. I know I've heard some things about people don't like Ronda Rousey still being in WWE. I don't give a shit. Shayna Baszler and Ronda Rousey, I love them as tag team champions. The idea is amazing, and what they did here was amazing because They were just doing a promo that we're the best. We will literally fucking tear your tendons off your body, break your bones, snap them in half. And then Caden Carter and Katana Chance, these little dwarfs, come in and confront them.
We wanna
And
fight you.
and Ronda Rousey said, "Hey, this isn't Munchkin Land. Go away."
Yeah, I remember that. That was
Oh,
hilarious.
that's so stupid. But basically, Chance and Caden, which was, it was weird. They were like, yeah, I mean, the best way to make your impact on Monday Night Raw is to go after the top dogs, right? So we're going after you tonight. That's basically their promo, right? There wasn't really a lot of substance in their character, and they debuted. I don't know if this is how they were in NXT 2.0, but they came up to Monday Night Raw and they have this weird gimmick of being kind of like party people. Like, it doesn't really make a lot of sense. And I don't know if it's their idea or if it's Triple H's idea or whatever, but either way, I don't like it. it's
I
it's
guess
a
it is
weird
what it
gimmick.
is. It's whatever they roll
I mean,
with.
yeah, I guess it is what it is, but I mean, I guess it's okay, but at some point you're gonna have to get more character. Like,
Yeah.
I can't see them as honestly, I can't really see Shayna Baszler and Ronda Rousey because their characters aren't really like top star material, but still they have the legitimacy behind it. These Kaden Carter and Katana Chance don't really have a lot of legitimacy behind it. I understand they're like really good wrestlers, but still their gimmick is weird.
Yeah.
There was a cool finisher though, and I'm just gonna call them the Party. There was a really cool finisher that they have. I don't remember what they called it, but it was basically like Caden Carter had a a neck breaker position and on Ronda, and Katana came from the top rope with a 450 and hit it on Ronda. It was pretty cool. I liked that, and it was honestly a very great match. Like, I would have considered this one of the best matches of the week. Like, it's probably in the top four. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
So
See where you're coming from with that.
yeah, it was pretty cool. And the next thing that I was kind of like a little surprised, it didn't really seem like they needed this, but it was Miz TV with Cody Rhodes. But I liked it. It was pretty cool. It was weird because I know Cody's in the rivalry with fucking Brock Lesnar, but now he's doing this shit with Dominic Mysterio. Don't get me wrong, I like it, but it's still like
I
weird.
think WWE just likes the heat.
I think
Likes to hear the heat that
I think Triple
Mysterio
H is
gets.
I think Triple H is doing the right thing. This might sound like criticism that I'm talking about, but no, I think he's doing the right thing. So it was pretty funny seeing the Miz sing Cody Rhodes' song. It was he the camera panned to him and he was just going crazy with it.
Which I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
He
Well,
has this character.
there was a funny moment. Cody called the Miz Mike, and the Miz said, "My name is first name the last name Miz. It's not Mike in this ring." And like,
Breaking the
damn,
fourth
okay.
wall.
And Cody was like, okay, Miz. And then the Miz brought out a surprise guest, and it was Dominic Mysterio. And Miz went. They came in the ring. Miz went to talk, and Rhea literally just said, "Quiet, Miz." And then she said, "Dom has something to say." And dude, he puts the microphone to his mouth. The entire crowd is booing.
It's booing him. I'm not surprised.
The
Every time.
heat. The heat from this dude. And the Miz just makes it better. He's just like, they're booing him, and he's just like, when my hand goes up.
Your mouth goes.
Oh my god, dude, it was so stupid. But the heat was amazing, and it was pretty funny. And after the Miz said, or after the Miz said all that stuff like shut up, whatever, and Cody said, "Oh, don't boo Dom." And yeah, they sat down after Dominic had whatever he had to say, and he called Cody a deadbeat dad. Why isn't he at home with a injured arm, taking care
I
of his
mean, he's
daughter?
he must be obsessed with that phrase of being a deadbeat dad. This is
Well,
exactly what he called Ray.
well, Cody wasn't gonna take that shit. He fucking he said your WrestleMania match was basically a public spanking. And he said, "Yeah, I know Ray has made terrible mistakes. I'm looking right at one." Cody is
Like,
just
dang,
roasting
bruh.
him, and yeah, Dom was like about to leave. Cody turned around and Dom smacked the spit out of Cody's mouth. He smacked him. It was wow, and then he hid behind Rhea. The
And
heat that he gets, man.
who did Cody take out his anger on? The Miz.
The Miz.
Just hits him with his cast.
Yeah. Dude, Dominic
Forearm to the
Mysterio
head.
is really like Eddie Guerrero when he was with China. It's great. And
For
she called,
sure.
Rhea said, hey, don't boo my Latino he, or something like that. It was
Yeah.
pretty, I liked
They're
that.
really
But,
they're really growing into Dom being the next Eddie.
yeah.
They're trying to anyway.
It's cool. Well, after this, Paul Heyman invited everyone to see SmackDown to see Jey Uso's choice. And that's really all he had to say. And then we had our main event, which was Damian Priest taking on Seth Rollins, World Heavyweight Championship. I was so excited for this. There's not a lot of matches that I'm like super excited about, especially on like
This
Raws
one
and
was.
Smackdowns. This one was like, wow, okay. And then when we got Gunther and Kevin Owens, it was just, yeah, it's amazing. It's just great.
Yeah.
So we got a lot of good wrestling this week, and this did not disappoint at all. I can't believe that Damian Priest hit a Hurricane Rana from the top rope.
Did he really?
He is 6'8". He should be on the ground, and this man is doing insane stuff. I don't know if he's 6'8". He's probably
This
6'7",
is
6'6", something
this
like that.
dude is either almost or is 40 years old. He's like Edge.
He is 40 years old.
He's super athletic for his age. Moves around like a cruiserweight.
Not just for his
It's
age either.
crazy.
He's athletic. He's super
For his
athletic.
size.
Just in general.
Yeah.
Like, it's
He
insane.
reminds me a lot of Edge.
If he
got
was-
that Edge athleticism.
If he was like 6 foot, like 6 inches shorter, I would understand this athleticism, but it's insane.
Right.
I love it. He really feels like a Batman villain.
I bet
He
he does.
picks up Seth Rollins and he's like, "Hey, I got this for you," and then he hits him with a punt or something like that. And then he's like, "Okay, you want some more?" Picks it back up, does something else. It's
It's like a Joker versus
he-
Batman sort of thing.
and it's not even like it feels like he's playing. He's completely serious. He feels like a dominant threat, and I love it. Like I could have seen him winning the champion. I couldn't see him winning the championship here, but I could see him winning the championship in the future. I want him to.
Yeah.
Not the world championship from Rollins, but just a huge push for Priest on a world championship picture.
Yeah.
And there was one moment when Rollins did the barricade bomb that he did on Finn Balor. The callbacks to this moment were crazy because Rollins hit Priest with the move that injured Finn Balor. And yeah, I loved it. And yeah, after that, Finn Balor tried to interfere, and it didn't work out too well for him. And after that, Priest hit him with a clothesline and a South of Heaven, like a hard clothesline, and then a South of Heaven. And then this was a close near fall. And then after he kicked out, Priest got up and he looked to ringside and he seen Finn Balor, and it actually looked like Priest was really disappointed. He asked Balor, "Why are you here?" And then he turned around, just got back in the fight, and Rollins beat him. But there's a lot of animosity between Balor and Priest.
They're showing a little bit of tension.
Yeah, I mean, I hope they don't really say anything about it in the next few weeks, but then bring it back up later, because I do want to see more of Judgment Day being a dominant threat, because I want one of them to at least win the mid-card title while being in the group,
Yeah.
and maybe a tag team championship run.
Yeah,
Because if
that
they were a
probably would do
mid-card
well for 'em.
women's, if they were a mid-card champion, a women's champion, plus the tag team champions, they would be considered one of the best factions, and I honestly feel like they have the potential for that.
Yeah, for sure.
So, yeah, Rollins defeated him. It wasn't really surprising. And here's a new segment, a part of the podcast, and it is called Get Your Shit In, Kid. Because Monday Night Raw, I watch it on Hulu. Hulu doesn't have all 3 hours, so some of the shit has to get cut out, and this segment called Get Your Shit In, Kid is those matches that were not in the show for me. So those that were not in the show for me are Ricochet taking on Shinsuke Nakamura, and Bronson Reed interfered. That sounds like a good match, and I like that they're actually putting Bronson Reed still on the show after not winning the Money in the Bank qualifying match.
Yeah.
Because him and Johnny Gargano, when they were in the Elimination Chamber, it really felt like they were about to become stars. Bronson has followed through, but Johnny has not. I really hope we can see Johnny and Tommaso soon as top contenders.
sure.
I want to see Tommaso on SmackDown. But I don't know where he got drafted. Did he get drafted to Raw?
He got drafted.
I think he did.
Did he get drafted? I think he got drafted to Raw. I don't know.
And the other
I
match
don't
was Zoe
remember.
Stark taking on Natalya, and Zoe Stark won. That makes sense because Zoe is with Trish, so she needs to have some victories, especially on Natalya, because Natalya just lost to Rhea in 2 minutes. If Natalya beat her, oh my god. That would take all credibility away from Zoe.
Yeah.
I mean, I get that Natalya has been a wrestler for so long, but the fact that she just lost like that,
Yeah.
So that's it for the first WWE show. We're moving on to the second one. I really liked Raw this week, and it had 2 of the best matches of the week, in my opinion. But we're moving on to SmackDown, and I love the feeling of SmackDown. And Raw, they feel different. They really do feel different. And I get the color's different or whatever. That's not what I mean. I mean the integrity and style, and it just feels different. Like it used to in 2002 during the Ruthless Aggression era. All they need now is to change the setups because they're the same exact setup. You know what I mean, J-Dog?
Yeah.
Man, J-Dog doesn't talk a lot.
I'm listening. Well, I didn't watch much of Raw or SmackDown, so
Oh yeah, that is right.
I'm picking the bits and pieces that I remember.
Yeah. So, on SmackDown, we had Solo and Heyman. They were in the ring, and Heyman, he was just about to start saying whatever he was about to say, and Jey Uso came out, and Jey immediately grabbed the mic and said to Solo, "Stabbing Jimmy in the back is unforgivable." I mean, he didn't say exactly that, but yeah, basically. But
He
Heyman,
essentially said that.
yeah, Heyman said it's all Jimmy's fault, and that they really want Jay to be back in the bloodline. Jimmy's jealous that Roman has been grooming Jay to be the next tribal chief for years and years and years. And Heyman got Jay an opportunity at the U.S. Championship against Austin Theory, and that would be, I mean, that's just huge for Jay because he hasn't been a singles champion. If he was United States champion, first of all, that would really solidify him as main event Jey Uso. Plus, I would love to see that, and I really feel like he would have won if it wasn't for all that bullshit that happened. I wanted Jay to win so bad.
Yeah. You
but
gotta keep building the story.
but Heyman basically said he got him the opportunity and like shake his hand, and Jay did not shake his hand. He said, "I'll get back to you on that." He didn't want to join the bloodline. He wanted to stay loyal, at least for now, to Jimmy Uso.
The small pop that he got when he said that was funny. Like he said, "I'll get back to you on that." You heard a
Yeah.
couple laughs, and then you heard a small pop about.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
like
love
that's
that.
great.
Jey Uso, him and Sami Zayn as the pair, which they took a look back on during this show. It was pretty cool having Sami and Jay in a promo again. And it is kind of weird after they've already had the tag team WrestleMania match, and now him and Jay are talking again as not necessarily friends, but not on negative terms. So I was really excited when I heard the Jey Uso Austin Theory match. And I was
Yeah.
also excited about Santos Escobar versus Mustafa Ali in a Money in the Bank qualifier. And I was even more excited when L.A. Knight, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, L.A. Knight came out and
Yeah.
he's on commentary, yeah. And yeah, L.A. Knight on commentary is just funny, and he basically all that L.A. Knight said was, I want to take a look at my next two competitors if they can be in the Money in the Bank match. And oh boy, this was a great match. Like this was there were so many good matches this week, and not just this week, but like overall all the time there's so many great matches. And this was just another one, Santos and Ali. I really I really feel like Ali has a different kind of aura about him since having that Intercontinental Championship match against Gunther. Because I mean, he felt like a star. Like Santos has been like he's been under the wing of Rey Mysterio more recently. He's felt like an even bigger star. Ali really, I could have seen Ali winning this, but it was
Yeah.
kind of obvious
Definitely
Santos
been
was gonna
some
win. It
possibility.
was
Yeah.
kind of obvious that Santos was gonna win. Uh, and like there was one moment, Ali. This was a very brutal match. Like really weird that it was so brutal. But Santos was on the apron, Ali was on the steps. Santos did a Hurricane Rana, and he hit his head on the steel steps on the way down. Like he
Doesn't
did.
sound.
I mean, he
Doesn't
didn't.
sound good.
It didn't show him being hurt or anything. Like he wasn't actually injured or anything. But oh my goodness, man! And like L.A. Knight at one point said, "Man, they're not even gonna make it to Money in the Bank." And this match was crazy. Santos, he was getting hit with the elbows. This was the end of the match. It was very back and forth. But at the end, you had Santos. He was on the middle rope. He was sitting on the top rope, had Ali on his shoulders, trying to set up for the Phantom Driver from the top or from the middle rope, which is just devastating. And Ali just hit him with elbows, and it looked like he was about to get down. And they did like a twist here. Santos just like powered through it. He just like got this evil look on his face. He picked him up, Phantom Driver from the top or from the middle rope. Wow. And then Santos won, and like just right decision. I would really like to see. I want to see LA Knight win, but Santos would also be a good pick.
Santos would be another good choice. Yeah,
Oh yeah.
for sure.
Yeah, I liked that. And yeah, just this is what I was talking about earlier, the Jey Uso and Sami Zayn thing. This was right after Santos and Ali. Jey Uso was backstage and Sami Zayn, like, just met him, basically. And he basically told him, get away from the tribal chief business.
Yeah. That
Yeah,
segment was good. I enjoyed that segment.
from Jey and Sami.
Yeah.
Yeah, I loved it. Because it took a look back on their relationship, which was pretty cool. Which we haven't
Like
been
any
seeing any
segments they've been
progress.
having with Jay and Sammy,
Like, they
having
actually
these
seem
like
like friends.
reminiscent.
They
Yeah.
seem like friends. Coming up next, which was this segment was one of my favorites of the entire week, and I'm just gonna say this: Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler are legitimately, since like Sasha and Bailey being champions in 2000, I think 18, 19. I think it was 19. Uh, since them and the Iconics, I haven't really seen like a legitimate threat. Well, we also had Asuka and Kairi Sane. That was also like, wow, that's pretty good. They legitimately
Yeah.
feel like the best team. Like, they are going to have a long run, I would hope anyway. They feel like a legitimate threat. And this segment, Caleb Braxton announced Alba Fire and Isla Dawn. Shayna Baszler and Ronda Rousey came out, and I was immediately excited. I didn't really care about Fire and Dawn, like what they were about to do. I thought it was just going to be some interview. And then Baszler and Ronda came out, and it just got exciting. Because they're the NXT Women's Tag Team Champions, Fire and Dawn, and Ronda and Shayna, the Women's Tag Team Champions. So they're going to be unifying the championships.
Which very well, no, I guess they wouldn't probably do a redesign, but just means that there's no longer gonna be a tag division for the women's
I
for the
will be
women
honest. If
in
there's
NXT.
one belt that doesn't need a redesign, it's probably the Women's Tag Team Championships. I think it's fine.
Yeah, I think they'll be all right.
But yeah, basically, Baszler and Ronda came down and confronted them, and the challenge was thrown out there. And then there was a brawl, and surprisingly, Alba Fire and Isla Dawn ended up on top, which was
Right.
cool because I mean, obviously
They're
Ronda and
brand
Shayna,
new tag team. Yeah.
yeah, Ronda and Shayna, they're just a legitimate force to be reckoned with, and having Isla and Alba actually get the upper hand on them, it shows off that they're a credible threat as well.
Yeah.
And after that, we had the Iron Sheik tribute, and obviously, rest in peace, Iron Sheik. There doesn't have to be a lot said about that, but I did really like the tribute. It showed
Yeah.
just how great of a heel he was, and like, honestly, I kind of want to go back and watch some of the Iron Sheik stuff now. And after that, we had Bailey taking on Michin in a Money in the Bank contender match. And I'm gonna be honest, when I was watching this, I went to the bathroom during this match, and then I came back out, and the match was over.
It was that quick.
It was probably 5-minute match.
Dang.
Not anything to really brag about, I wouldn't say. I mean, I didn't see the match really. But there was one notable thing about it. It's that obviously Bailey won. She'll be in the Money in the Bank match. And after the match, Karrion Kross attacked AJ Styles. Scarlett like blew red dust in his face, and then Kross got him with the cross jacket. After that, Michin started chasing Scarlett, and she jumped over the barricade and got on Karrion Kross, and they left, escaping the fire of Michin.
Yeah.
I think everybody wants to get away from that, or at least I do. But after that, OC were backstage, and Styles was pretty fired up, and Michin and AJ Styles both said that they want Scarlett and Karrion Kross. And that match is made for a few weeks. I'm not sure exactly when, but I know it's going to happen soon. And
well, it'll probably be a good feud on both sides. I hope they actually have Scarlett wrestle for once. That'd be
Right.
nice.
yeah, that would be
Like-
kind of cool. After that, we had the championship showing for Asuka. Adam Pearce showed this championship. It's the exact same as Roman Reigns'
white.
championship.
Just white leather instead of the normal black leather.
Yeah, just disappointing. That's all I gotta say. It's pretty disappointing. After Asuka got her new championship, Charlotte came out and, I mean, immediately in the title picture, Charlotte Flair.
Always gets title contender, no matter what. Doesn't matter if she's done
More than
anything or
likely,
not.
she'll get the championship, just based
Yeah.
off of past records.
I'm pretty sure thure probably gonna aim for her to break Ric Flair's record. I wouldn't be surprised.
Right. Yeah, Adam Pearce
I
told
think
her
Yeah, I think she's already at
she's
what?
at 12.
Like 14? 12? I knew it was like between 12 and 14.
It might be 13, but I don't know if they count the NXT Women's Championship anymore.
I don't think they do. I think that was the one they took away.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but during this, after she came out, Adam Pearce basically told her, "Look, you have to get to the back of the line," and Charlotte said, "I made the line." And then
she uses
everything.
that line every single feud that she goes into, and she comes back. Somebody's like, "You gotta get to the back of the line." She's like, "I made the line. I am the line." Like, shut up. Like, I understand you're supposed to be a heel, but like, still, shut up.
Yeah.
That's annoying. Like, oh yeah, I made the line. Like, nobody cares that you made the line.
Go off, Jason. J-Dog, get your
Just-
shots in.
Sorry, I'm just... Give other women a chance.
Up in it, bitch, we tryna get higher. Put it back, I cooking and rack me, eating that pack of meal and stopper, holding it down, pull up in the primary rip, that just not faking the cat. Yeah, killing the trapper, coming back, I'll break new loose, keep up in the track, I'm feeling the beachy, burning, healing, marking it, tie beam, baking me screech. Don't clap in the sea, air track and pee, I'm master love, but feet too deep, I'm switching my game, take pass and see, but with my shot, no line to see.